Hey everybody, what's going on? Skylar again here with another video. This video is going to be a little bit different. It's kind of in the morning, late morning, almost noon, and I was going to play a little bit. I haven't played yet today, so I figured this would be a good chance to show you kind of my warm-up routine nowadays. For the last like 3 months, I've been confined to this pad and doing online lessons, and what I've found is that depending on the day, I'm playing a lot because I get to play and write a lot for my own leisure, but also like in front of a camera for the students. From day to day, it varies how I warm up, and hopefully this is a good tutorial for anyone who is either on the younger side or maybe past marching age that doesn't play a whole lot anymore but wants to get back into, chopping out and having a daily routine. I will say this is I at least hit the pad every day. There's some days where I don't hit it at all except for maybe 5 minutes of something. But there's some days I don't get to play at all. I know when I was, teaching and society was normal, I was working a normal job. There'd be several days where the only time I would play was in front of my students. So I figured I would kind of walk you through my warm-up routine and just talk through some things that I go through on the day-to-day that hopefully will help out anyone. Because I know as a young kid, when you're marching, when you're in there, especially like in high school or early drum corps, you don't like warming up, you don't like exercises because it's not the music. It's not the music, man. Why don't we just like work on cleaning the music? And what I found is that the technique really is everything, and the way you warm up keeps your body healthy, keeps your hands healthy, keeps your mind healthy. Even before I play, some days I'll kind of just do some of these like jazz hands into like fists, because it's just getting the muscles to do the opening and closing motion. It gets the blood flowing to the muscles. I know some people have older people that I teach, but also that I see on the internet have circulation issues, and sometimes this just helps get the blood flowing. Sometimes I kind of simulate like you rubbing lotion into your hands just to get your hands kind of going around each other and doing different motions and working with your fingers, because here's the thing is like we're using everything from the elbow down, but these finger like muscles, these are so integral to what you're doing, and so we need to deal with muscle motions as small as this, but also as big as this. So you can do arm circles and stuff like that. I don't usually do that. I stick to wrist on down. Like, for example, I can tell that my left wrist right here is just a little tight, so sometimes I'll do wrist rotations. Or like, they're not really rotations, but it's like back and forth. This would be a wrist rotation, almost like you're turning a doorknob. Especially if you play traditional. If you play matched, you can do this. These wrist turns, just straight up and down. Alright, again, some more of these. So I don't spend a whole lot of time on that. I just kind of get my hands feeling good. Especially if anything's feeling tight, I want to try to work on that. You can do the wrist stretches this way, all that stuff, right? I don't typically do those, but it just depends, right? So now I take a pair of sticks in my hands, and so usually what will happen is this is live. This is the first time I'm hitting the pad today, so I don't know how my hands are gonna feel. Right now they feel okay, but we'll have to see. So typically it'll be like a 10-15 minute process of I'll play some legato exercises, some right hand, some left hand, some double stops. So I'm hopefully going to try to talk and play as I do this. So let's start off with just some like legato strokes, right? Nice forte level, left hand. Okay. And mix them together. Maybe do some double stops. Okay. Okay. I'll add in some 16th notes, some syncopated patterns, but also like I'm dealing with one dynamic at this point. Now from here I'll start to morph into some accent tap stuff. Okay? And I really like accent tap because when you're playing an accent, and then releasing for a tap, your muscles have to, I don't want to use the word constrict, but you're engaging your muscles for the accent and then releasing for the tap. So I really like these. I call them bucks on each hand. Okay, that just promotes strength in the way you control the stick and stop it, but also for your muscles being able to control the stick and manipulate it. So we're doing down, up, down, up, down, up. That's the stroke types that we're doing. Very quickly, I love 16th note accent tap, so I'll kind of switch over into that. And I'll just sort of improvise over it, you know what I mean? But as I'm doing this, I'm listening, but more importantly, I'm feeling. Right? Sometimes I'll do the grid like this. But it's all in one tempo zone. Some isolated doubles, because that's getting the back finger guys in there. Sometimes I'll just do straight up. Right, the old school exercise. I do a lot of triples. Triples are super important. Maybe some double stops. You know, you're matching sound quality and height, right? Yeah, see? We're not quite ready for that yet. We're not quite ready for the fours. I need to do a little bit more working out of the motion. So let's just pause real quick. Because I tried to do those fours, and I noticed my right hand, the back, specifically the back two, I guess, weren't there yet. They weren't loose enough yet. So what I'll do is sometimes I'll play like tap pyramid, and it gets those smaller muscles that are required to play longer taps and more taps in succession. I'll get those loose. Right? We were working with big muscle groups earlier, now we're talking smaller muscle groups. Back fingers. Now let's try those fours. Yeah, slightly better. But I'll sort of go through that whole progression of singles, rebound strokes, accents, hand-to-hand accents, and then I'll play some double stuff. Maybe add some accents into that, and then I stop, and then I assess. I stop and assess before I do stuff like paradiddles and rolls, because it's sort of a whole different tempo area. So like I'll start really slow with paradiddles, so I'll go like, because you don't want to go and try to burn paradiddles right away, right? So you want to try to, again, you're kind of stretching out your stick control muscles as well. The muscles you need to control the stick. Some paradiddle diddles. Maybe some double paradiddles in there. Increasing the speed slightly. Different variations, different patterns. Now we go into the hand-to-hand diddles. Takes a lot of control to play these soft. Now we're going to faster paradiddles, right? It's really just whatever whatever variations I think of and whatever variations feel good at that point. So that will kind of be its own separate thing. And again, working two heights, different patterns of paradiddles and paradiddle-diddles, double paradiddles, all that stuff. I don't really do triplet rolls except for like quite fast, maybe at the very end. So I'll do something like this, like triplet, like chicken on a roll. Some people call it higga-digga-burr, some people call it chicken on a roll, but with buzzes and open rolls, so I'll go. So buzz presses the first time, then because rolls require like that pinching sort of thing. The faster you go, like arm support and pinching, and they don't really stretch out the muscles, but it's just a good practice in understanding hand speed and pressure. So I'll usually do those last, and depending on what I'm working on, if I'm doing anything with like, let's say some molar, I'll work on that, like the molar tenuto kind of thing. I'll usually do like extended strokes like this, 4 at a time. Maybe some singles. Molar is a skill set that I feel younger players need to start to integrate because it'll help you play faster singles, but also like stuff that requires quick upstrokes, like inverts and stuff like that. So that's kind of the progression of how I go along, and then from there I'll kind of start digging into whatever I'm working on, depending on if it's a writing thing or if I'm working on something that I want to play, or if it's something for a lesson. Different days require different things. I can tell that I'm going to have to do a little bit more work. These sticks actually are just a little bit light. I've been using them for the last couple days, but they're a new pair of Tom Hannum signatures, and they're okay. They're just a little light, and I can tell that if I switch to another pair of sticks, I think my quality is going to go up, just because I'm letting some things go right now, and I think it's just because of the weight of them. I bet if I tape these would be awesome, but they're not taped right now, so. And the flam thing, sometimes I do flams. I'll do like some flam accents, but like flam taps, but I really don't go beyond that. I don't like grid flam drags to warm up. I mean, sometimes I will, but I find that you're already worked out all the muscle groups you need to play anything, and so flams, you just kind of add grace notes in there, but it's the same muscle, motions and the same muscle groups that you're using to play the technique. So, except for maybe, like I said, flam taps, which are a different feeling. So, like, I'll do old school, like, flam thing. Just to get my hands loose playing some flams, but if what I'm working on isn't specifically a flam type exercise or a flam passage, I don't do a lot of it. So yeah, that's the video. It's around 14 minutes. So that's a pretty accurate representation. I've been playing for the last like 10 minutes. I'm just getting my hands loose. My hands feel a little bit better, but I can tell I need to do a couple more minutes. Alright, so I hope you enjoy. I hope this helps for anyone who gets up in the morning, or goes to their pad first thing and doesn't really know how to approach warming up, or wants sort of a structure to follow. That's sort of my structure, but it varies every day. So yeah, I hope this helps. Happy practicing, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.